Being on such a controversial show like The Boys is not an easy ride.
I remember after a date just going, what are we doing? I could have been a lawyer.
From embarrassing moments on set to facing one's deepest fears, here are the biggest challenges the show's cast had to overcome.
Yeah, I was not prepared though for like how far they were gonna go.
Let's dive in. Really wild stuff. The Boys introduced its audience to so many things that previously were simply not allowed on TV. Most of the show's stars weren't prepared for what they'd encounter, let alone participate in. Karen Fukuhara revealed that she was reading the original comic novel on the plane. And she actually had to close the book at one point, as she could just feel the stares of the people around her.
And I had to stop in the middle of reading it because I got so embarrassed.
Antony Starr also wasn't familiar with the comic before auditioning for the show. At the time, he was busy with another project, so the actor recorded the tape between takes almost out of spite. But it turned out that the Boys showrunners loved it, so Antony had to have a look at the graphic novel.
Oh, my nerves. Yeah. I was like, how the hell are we gonna put this on TV? You can't screen that. This is obscene. Oh my God.
With time, though, Starr got used to filming bizarre things on the show.
I read that and I'm like, just another day at work.
However, to this day, there are moments that made him and his co-stars shudder. Face your fears. Interestingly, The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke loves to incorporate cast's personal traits into the show. For example, he found out that Nathan Mitchell had a nut allergy. That's how Black Noir has got his kryptonite. For Jack Quaid, shooting the infamous whale scene turned out to be a terrible real-life experience. It was done in true Boys fashion. Carl Urban is actually a pretty talented boat driver, so he had no problem launching the vehicle across the water, jumping waves for real while filming.
He ended up driving it way more aggressively than a stuntman would have.
But Quaid, who was raised on Hollywood Hills, hadn't really ever been on a speedboat before. And Eric Kripke put him on the very front of the boat, which is a pretty scary place to be.
That compounded Jack's horror because the guy driving wasn't a trained professional at keeping Jack alive. It was Carl.
We tortured him.
Antony Starr also had his fair share of thrilling experiences. The actor revealed that although he wasn't afraid of heights, he wasn't happy with hanging in the air.
F off. F off. Life.
But he actually had more unpleasant moments on set with his feet on the ground, all because of his superhero costume. Too hot, too tight, too revealing. Homelander's superhero suit is padded to make the impression of the chiseled muscles. Antony Starr revealed that because of that, it's extremely hot to wear. Thankfully, a built-in water circulation system keeps him cool. Also, the supersuit is so tight that it makes fans wonder how the actor gets into it. It turns out it took the designer team 8 months to figure out how to put zippers in the right places. Putting it on and taking it off is no easy feat, too. Erin Moriarty revealed that the hardest thing about playing a soup was going to the loo. In her Starlight costume, it took at least 25 minutes.
It's left me in positions where I've gone back to set, and there have been articles of my costume that are a little wet.
She couldn't even eat properly while shooting the first 2 seasons.
At the end of a very long day, in a very tight suit like that, when you just want to sit down and eat lunch without feeling like your organs are compressed.
Well, at least she didn't have to buff up before the shooting like some of her male co-stars. The price of looking super. Although Starr is wearing a muscle suit, that doesn't mean he's not supposed to be in good shape. The actor shared that initially, the costume department team wanted him to wear the corset. But he felt that would be kind of embarrassing, so he found a way out.
I trained like crazy for 2 weeks to get rid of it, and I thankfully never wore a corset on screen.
Jensen Ackels had another task before joining the show.
I was told to beef up, and so I worked out like a madman.
To play Soldier Boy, he put on 15 to 20 pounds of muscle.
The physical preparation was something that I've never done before.
And fans are thrilled they will apparently see those abs again in season 5, and in his own spin-off show. But it's safe to say that one of the main cast members had to put in much more effort for her role. Master new tricks. Karen Fukuhara worked with sign language expert to create Kimiko's language.
It's challenging for sure because it's a skill that I've never learned before taking on this role.
As for her moves, Kripke wanted Kimiko to be like the little girl from Wolverine.
Once I heard that, I went to the dog pound, the shelter, and kind of looked around, like dog-like movements.
Apart from that, it helped her understand what the mute vigilante felt like being caged. The actress also revealed that initially the show's writers didn't know that she had a background in martial arts. But when Kripke learned she grew up doing karate, he insisted on Karen doing her own stunts. Most of the time, she felt like home filming such sequences, up until she had to do a dildo fighting scene. For the viewers, the fights looked fun and ridiculous. But for Karen, it was actually very technical. She had to master the new art called Kali. Traditionally, it's fighting with 2 sticks, but on the show, they switched it out for the phallic-shaped props. Fukuhara revealed that she had to practice and rehearse for almost 2 months to shoot that one scene. While on screen, it only took a couple of minutes. But her favorite new experience on The Boys was dancing.
It felt like a completely different show because usually what Kimiko does is so dark and heavy and violent.
Karen and her co-star Tomer Capone confessed that they never danced before. Still, they accepted the challenge. The two revealed that they even created their own playlist and practiced their moves whenever they could. But that definitely wasn't the craziest thing the cast had to go through. Because when you sign up for a show like The Boys, you are to be prepared for anything. Risking a career. Susan Hayward revealed that becoming a part of the show was more than just exciting.
The process of joining was like jumping on a moving train. And then staying in the world was like walking on a tightrope.
She didn't have too many awkward scenes, so far at least. But most of her co-stars had loads of them.
I remember talking to Valerie Curry that plays Firecracker. She's brilliant. And we were on the same page with her. I remember after a take just going, what are we doing? I could have been a lawyer. I could have, what is this job?
Chase Crawford was even kind of worried about his career after season 3 aired.
You sent me a text message, and I think I'll have to go find it, but I think it was something like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to work after this.
But he went on filming it anyway, as well as other highly controversial stuff. However, Jensen Ackels was more conservative. He point-blank refused shooting some scenes.
Well, I can't do that. That's not acceptable behavior.
In season 4, Colbie Minifie also had some quite embarrassing scenes. In fact, she had always wanted to explore Ashley's life outside her office. But the actress was pretty shocked when she first read the script.
Yeah, I was not prepared though for like how far they were gonna go, and I had so much fun playing with that.
That's true. On The Boys, no one knows what the future will bring to them. And that's the biggest challenge for the show's cast. Just wait for it. For some actors, it's crucially important to know their characters' arcs. Susan Hayward explained that it allows to add depth to the role, or at least not to be outright shocked about having to leave the show.
I beg them to tell me where we're going. Help me, please, please, I need to know.
But Eric Kripke prefers to keep the cast on their toes.
They're giving us the chapters kind of step by step.
So for Hayward, it was a pleasant surprise to learn she'll return in season 5. On the other hand, Claudia Doumit was kind of relieved to say goodbye to Victoria.
Weirdly enough, I felt like I accepted it more than everyone else. I was like, this makes sense.
It only came to her after shooting Newman's last scene.
Oh, I'm never gonna be able to like walk as her again or to like speak like her.
But the show will always keep a special place in Claudia's heart. After all, she found love on its set. If you want to learn more about it, check out our video about the cast's real-life partners. And stay awesome!